Today, the big idea of making a lot of money is very important, and there's a good reason for it. John D Rockefeller once said that the most stable thing in the world is the ability to make money in the right way. It's very strong. Imagine being able to earn as much money as you want. It might seem like just a dream, but today I'm going to prove that it's not just a dream. If you look at how John D Rockefeller made his billions, you'll discover some amazing money-making skills that can still help you become wealthy. Still not convinced? Then watch this video until the end and see for yourself. Welcome to the leading channel on finance. If you dream of becoming rich, then subscribe right now. John Rockefeller was the world's first person to become a billionaire. When he started his very first business, he had $2,000 as startup capital. Out of this initial amount, he borrowed $200 from his father. By the time of his death in 1937, Rockefeller's fortune was immense, estimated to be about $1.4 billion. Adjusted for inflation, this amount would be equivalent to approximately $318 billion today. To put this in perspective, the wealth of one of the richest men today, Elon Musk, is around $219 billion. My deeper study into John Rockefeller's biography revealed that his extraordinary financial success was based on mastering a few crucial money management skills. As you give this video a thumbs up, I'll go into the details of these skills and explain how they contributed to his wealth. Tracking your finances. At the age of 7, John Rockefeller earned his first money by helping on a neighbor's farm with tasks like collecting potatoes and raising rabbits. He took his mother's advice and started keeping a detailed record of every cent he earned and spent in a ledger. This practice, similar to today's cash flow statements used in business finance, was something he continued until his death at age 97. Rockefeller grew up in a low-income family. His father was a traveling salesman who was often away from home, and during his absences, Rockefeller's mother was very careful with money. She taught her children to keep track of every penny, a habit that helped Rockefeller understand the value of money from a young age. Although his parents hoped he would attend university, Rockefeller chose to study at a commercial college, focusing on accounting. His knack for numbers was soon recognized and valued by his employers. None of his colleagues enjoyed dealing with past accounts as much as Rockefeller did. He thrived on these tasks. Rockefeller's starting salary as an assistant accountant was $17 per month, which increased to $25 in the second month. By the end of his first year, he had become a manager earning $800 a year. John's commitment to financial literacy laid the foundation for his enormous future wealth. Therefore, I recommend focusing on personal financial education. Don't hesitate to take out a loan. Entrepreneurs usually think it's best to avoid borrowing money, but the example of Rockefeller shows it can be useful. If Rockefeller hadn't borrowed money from his father to start his business, he might have ended up working for someone else his whole life. Even though he could invest his own money, he often chose to borrow and save his own funds as a backup. Even when no one else would invest, Rockefeller would fund his projects by himself. His first business was a small transportation company. In its first year, he took orders worth $500,000. Money soon ran out, and he owed a lot to his father, who charged him 10% interest. Rockefeller borrowed more money from wherever he could. It was hard, but he managed. People often think only those who don't understand money aren't scared of loans. However, Rockefeller shows that the key is to borrow money wisely. Rockefeller was always careful about meeting his obligations, including financial ones, no matter how tough things got. In the early years of his business, he faced many challenges, but he always managed to get the necessary amount of money together by the due date. In his memoir, How I Made $500 Million, Rockefeller shares an incident where his father visited his office to collect another loan repayment at a really bad time and insisted he needed the money immediately. Rockefeller himself isn't sure if this timing was a coincidence, or if his father intentionally chose these moments for teaching him a lesson. Regardless, he made sure every creditor, including his father, was paid what was owed and on time. Over the years, bankers grew so trusting of Rockefeller that they would hand over all the contents of their safes to him, based solely on his word. His reputation for handling financial matters was the best assurance. Therefore, it's important to keep a close eye on your credit history and financial reputation. Rockefeller could borrow money without worry and always met his obligations because he didn't make decisions on a whim. Every choice was thought out well in advance. When borrowing money, he carefully planned when and how much he needed to repay, how he would manage the repayment, and what he would earn from the borrowed money. When investing his own money, he figured out when and by how much it would grow. He put millions of dollars into his businesses. If an investment increased production or cut costs, leading to higher profits, Rockefeller was on top of it. Rockefeller was the first person in the United States to stop moving oil in wooden barrels by horse and start using rail tanks, transporting entire trainloads across the country. He also prioritized safety in refineries after evaluating damage from frequent fires, especially when early refineries were just basic sheds. Oilmen once thought oil was a short-term profitable venture and didn't bother investing in infrastructure. When Rockefeller started exporting oil, he needed fast ways to transfer oil from tanks to ships. He paid for the necessary equipment at railway stations himself. It looked like he was giving it to the railways for free, but this move, along with the increased transport volume, helped him argue for lower rates, allowing him to ship oil by rail 3 times cheaper than his competitors. He also owned several iron mines and realized it was cheaper to ship ore to blast furnaces and ports by water than by train. So he built his own shipping fleet. Rockefeller's partners thought his ideas were too risky and didn't want to invest. In those situations, he would say, "Okay, I'll put up the money myself, but I'll keep all the profits." After hearing this, his partners would quickly become more cooperative. Everyone knew that if Rockefeller was willing to invest, there was sure to be a profit. This approach defines the concept of wealth. The secret of passive income is about setting up a system that provides a steady flow of money, ideally enough to support your daily life with little work after you start it. The main goal is to create stable sources of income that can either run by themselves or need very little effort once they're set up. This requires some upfront planning and initial effort. For example, earning money from information products is quite profitable now because they're highly valued, and there are many ways to make money from them. Additionally, you should consider other options like legal income and marketing income. The key to success in this financial strategy is choosing the right tools that will consistently make money. It's crucial to pick the type of passive income that will definitely meet your financial goals. Furthermore, this approach not only provides financial stability, but also allows you the freedom to pursue other interests or hobbies as your income generates itself. In conclusion, a well-planned passive income strategy ensures financial security and personal freedom, making it a vital pursuit for long-term stability. There are certain truths in the financial world that have proven to be incredibly valuable and are almost certain to make many people wealthy. These principles are epitomized by John Rockefeller's approach to handling money. The straightforwardness and ease of understanding. His methods might intimidate some of you, but for those who muster the courage and learn to manage these principles effectively, achieving personal financial success can happen very quickly. This channel is your go-to resource for all things finance. Subscribe to it and start your journey towards wealth.